Today's video, we're going to be talking about why you're not happy and how you can create a very precise formula for achieving joy and lasting joy. So if you're interested in, say, enjoying your life and enjoying the days of your life, then please hop on into this video and let's learn something together. Welcome back to Whole Goals. My name is Andrew Love, and it is my job, as I see it, to help you reclaim your mind, heart, body, and soul so that you can become an unstoppable force of good in this world. To make a very quick video to offer you a different framework by which to operate in life. You see, in our modern culture, we're taught that if you're unhappy, then it's because you need to buy something or you don't have something, and this unhappiness exists with your relationship with the outside world. And nothing could be further from the truth. Happiness should never be dependent on your environment. In fact, your environment's happiness should be dependent entirely on how you're doing. And that's exactly what this channel is all about. So I want to offer you some very basic guidance that will help you compartmentalize your joy into 4 different quadrants so that you're able to do inventory on how each of these quadrants are doing and why that will inevitably lead to lasting joy. True deep joy, and I'm not talking about the joy that you get from buying a fancy car or whatever, that's fleeting and dependent. Let's say you buy a brand new car, it's the car of your dreams, and then as soon as you park it at home, a giant elephant falls out of the air and lands on your car. Do you still love your car just as much? No, you don't, because it's now a flattened, one-dimensional vehicle. So that means that in that case, it's very circumstantial joy. What I'm talking about is the type of joy that nobody could remove from you. They could take off your arm, they could do whatever it takes, but they're not able to surgically remove that joy because it exists on a soul level. So I want you to first of all think of joy as the result. Joy is the result of 4 different areas of your life working harmoniously together. Those areas are your mind, your heart, your body, and your soul. And if any of these elements of your life are out of whack or out of place or not doing well, it throws the whole harmony out of balance. And then you start experiencing discomfort, pain, chaos in some occasions. And so the purpose of this video is to really help you see clearly each of these areas, understand how to evaluate them, and how to increase the health of each of these areas step by step. Because as you know, you could be extremely wealthy, you can have a bunch of relationships that are doing really well, and emotionally you're satiated, you could have a wonderful spiritual life, but if you're physically healthy, it could throw everything off balance. Same with, you could be physically vital and be shredded and ripped, and you could have a bunch of friends, but you could have some mental issues, and all of a sudden you're not able to really enjoy the days of your life. So it's important that you have equal amounts of thriving in each of these 4 areas in order for you to have real lasting joy. So let's start with your mind. The reason your mind is so important is because it's the gateway to all possibilities. If your mind can perceive it, then you can achieve it. That's what they say. But it goes like this. First, you picture it, and then you feel it, and then you start to live it, and then that just becomes your reality, for better or for worse. So if mentally you're really stuck in negative states of mind for a prolonged period of time, it starts to feed your body information that your safety is in jeopardy, you are not going to be well, and you start to live in a panic-stricken state. That creates a state of being, which is fight or flight. You live like that for long enough, you'll start to experience a lot of health issues, and your life will not be enjoyable whatsoever. So it starts with your mind. Now, in order to have real mental clarity, you need to understand your mind. You need to understand how much sleep is a good amount of sleep. What kind of foods help you focus, and what types of foods destroy your focus. And even at what time that you eat these foods and in what order. You see, I can have coffee as soon as I wake up and my day is gonna be destroyed. If I'm gonna have any caffeine, I first need to do stuff with my day. I need to wake up, I need to work out, I need to do a bunch of stuff. And then if I have coffee, then it's a nice little complement to the day. So caffeine for me is very sensitive, and it can throw me way off course, or it could help me to really focus. Also, the other day, I've been waking up at about 5:30 a.m. And the other day I felt like, I'm just gonna sleep in. It was a Saturday, just wanted to sleep in. I slept in until 8 o'clock. I proceeded to have one of the worst days I've had in months because I was so foggy. I didn't do my morning routines before my kids got up. They were like really hyper and I just wasn't. We were on totally different wavelengths. I couldn't handle their energy, and then I became cranky and the whole thing started to fall apart. So I realized, wow, I really need to wake up consistently at the same time, have a certain morning routine so that I can be in an optimal state. So your mind, you have to really understand the foods, the sleep, the amount of meditation that you need, the type of prayer that you need in order to have a mind that you can claim is yours. Also, the amount of screen time that you have. By golly gosh, please be very careful about how much screen time and in what form. Don't take your phone into your bathroom. Take a break, take a book, just think for a little bit. If you need to take a poop, don't bring your phone. Just take a break from technology for a while. It does something to you when you're constantly under the hypnosis of your phone or your computer. Now, in terms of your heart, if you're emotionally vulnerable or if you're in a really bad place, it's really hard to enjoy anything. I went through a slump of depression about 20 years ago that lasted a few months, and everything seemed like it was black and white. Like all the things that I used to do that I enjoyed were no longer enjoyable because they were experienced through the filter of my depression. And I had to rise out of that. I had to overcome that in order to reestablish what joy was. So in order to really gain the reins of your heart and to be able to kind of understand it, it's important that you never live by the finite emotions of your own heart. And it is super important to understand that you always have access to the ethereal, eternal heart that is the cosmos, that is God. There is an endless amount of love that we can plug into at any point in time. You just have to learn how to do it. I can teach you how to do that in other videos, but for now, just know that it's possible. So if you're in a slump, if you're feeling isolated, just know that there's a way to overcome this through meditation, through prayer, through connecting to all the power that lies within you that goes far beyond the limits of your own perspective of your heart. Your spirit, in the context of this conversation, is really your kind of willpower, how much you're able to move your body into action even when it doesn't want to do it, based on not just, treating your body like a slave, but getting its buy-in. You see, when we really believe in something, our body wants to follow suit. When we really believe that somebody's bad, then our body will try to punch that person or defend ourselves. But if we really believe that a cause is worthy of our time and our soul really gets into it, then we get all this energy, we get fired up, we don't need as much sleep. So again, that process is your mind is telling your emotions to tell your spirit, to tell your body to move into action. So in order to keep your spirit in optimal state, then you really need to focus on eternal things of grandiose nature, and that's through connecting to the Word of God, if you have some sort of scriptures that you have give and take with, or get into deep meditation. You have to feed your spirit. And again, since there's so many different ways of doing that, it's just important to know that when your spirit is dry and withered, you don't want to do stuff. Your body is really heavy. But know that this is resolvable. Again, we have an element to us that is permanently eternal. Although our body changes, the cells are constantly regenerating, reforming, restructuring, they're moving all around. Your soul is eternal, and although that can strengthen or weaken, it's always still connected to the eternal forces that lie within the cosmos, the invisible realm. So to stay charged up spiritually, you need a regimen to do so. I personally meditate in the morning and in the evening. I read scriptures in the morning, and throughout the day I'll continuously either pray or meditate just to keep myself fired up. Music is kind of like coffee to my soul in that it gives me a little bit of energy, but its half-life is pretty small. It dies pretty quickly. So I don't rely on any external stimuli for my soul. That might just be a little quick pick-me-up, but the real deep stuff that I need is knowing what my purpose is, why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, and I cannot do that solely from my brain. I have to find a larger perspective, and that is through prayer, meditation, and scriptures. And lastly, your body. It's so important to stretch your body, to move your body, to eat the right foods in the right order, to understand that your body wants to communicate with you. You just have to learn the language of your body. Because as you know, when you are sick, when you're not eating the right foods, it's hard to do anything. It really is our vessel, and when our vessel is breaking, then we just don't want to do anything. It's really hard. It impacts our mental well-being, it impacts our emotional state, it even impacts our spirit in many ways. So, in order to really have and maintain lasting, strong, powerful, deep joy, it's important that you're constantly doing inventory of your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, and your physical well-being. Figure out what your mind needs. What kind of food does your mind need? What type of emotions does your heart need? What type of nourishment does your soul need through meditation, through prayer, through scriptures? And what type of food and regimen does your body need? When you get good at doing inventory every single day and you learn to feed your mind, heart, body, and soul what they actually are craving, what they need in order to thrive, then it just becomes this fun game of getting better and better and better at optimizing your life. You'll get more energy, more clarity. You'll have more fun in the little things and the big things. You'll have more opportunities showing up at your door, and your life will become exactly what you want it to be. You cannot achieve true joy even if your environment changes because you are still stuck in the same place. So remember to do constant inventory of your mind, heart, body, and soul on a daily basis. Figure out what foods they need, what regimens they need. Get better and better every single day at feeding them what they need, and you will just watch your life catapult into a different stratosphere of enjoyment, joy, and nobody will be able to take that away from you. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, leave comments below. Tell me about your spiritual regimens, your mental, your emotional regimens, your body regimens. What do you do to keep yourself staying vital? And if you like this video, please consider subscribing. I would appreciate it, and I would love to get these ideas as far as possible. As always, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next video.